Behold, a cold open. We had to take a break last week because I'm going insane and dying. I can't go to bed, the thing I love doing most. Ah!
So you are unable to sleep now. You've never had insomnia in your life, really. It hasn't been a concern for you.
Yeah, not except the only time I've had like a real insomnia night is because I was in a cartoonish circumstance that I won't get into now. But basically, like it was as stupid as I accidentally booked a hotel room next to the Midnight Jackhammerers convention. It was at that level of like ridiculous, and that's when I couldn't get to sleep. I believe that it was because of Sephiroth. Sephiroth did this to me because it began the night that I beat Final Fantasy VII Remake, and
he shouldn't even be in there.
God.
He's really just kind of like thrown in there.
He's thrown in. He's
really thrown in at the end there. I don't know.
How could Cloud, at the point at which he leaves Midgar, stand up to the Sephiroth? You can't. It's absurd. And he put him in the game just to vex me because this sucks ass. Folks, I've been learning all these meditation shits. You know, would you believe that as night approaches, I feel anxiety tear around my heart as though it's a red lightning, and it feels as though there's a hand grasping my heart, putting the devil's pressure on it.
That's how I felt about eating when I was going through Prestige withdrawal. It was like I have to eat. This has to happen, but Jesus Christ, it's so unpleasant. But you know it's coming because it's built into the day.
Yeah, it sucks. And okay. At first, you know, would you believe that it's caused me panic and terror and self-recrimination? Well, guess what? I've learned mindfulness, and that no longer gets to me. I do not think of it in a judgmental way. And when I get to bed, you know what I do? Is I do my box breathing, and I envision the red crackling lightning around my heart as a physical thing, and with every exhalation a cartoon hand takes some and tosses it away, and I can feel my heartbeat slowing down. And you might be thinking, Tom, that sounds like great, except here's the thing, I still don't fucking go to sleep. That part still doesn't happen.
So you're the most relaxed and horizontal you've ever been.
Yeah, it's really fun. Most of my waking hours are me sitting completely still with my eyes closed, being bored and alone. It really kicks ass. Although there was this one upside, was there was one day that we were going to record so that we wouldn't have to take a sicko break. And in deference to how Joe was best in the morning, I'm like, why don't we record at 10? And that would be fine, except that it was 4:30. And I had not yet gone to sleep, and I had gotten into bed at, I believe, midnight. And I was like, wait a minute, 4:30? Oh, shit, Joe's up!
Yeah. At that time, I'm doing a weird stretch on a chair to relieve my agonies.
Yeah, when he first told me about that stretch in the chair, I'm like, is that on purpose, or is that like a nervous tick you're doing? Oh, man. I tell you what. Sucks big ass. And you were gonna give me some of your like going insane person's sleeping pills, but your doctor wife said that you must be out of your damn mind if you're giving prescription drugs to some other guy.
Yeah, in retrospect, that's a fair assessment. Kind of makes you wonder how many other dudes rock moments have occurred just because there wasn't a certain presence around. But you I believe have now a referral to get it.
Yeah. If needed, I have a referral to a psychiatrist who will give me the fucking killing you drug.
Just letting you know, that was the thing that put me out, but that's when I had the unbelievably vivid, violent dreams. Like,
is that the one where the whale that was as big as the world like shot you up 1,000 miles?
Oh yeah, and it crashing into the earth would kill so many other people, and it was all worth it because it hurt me. No, that was after. I had one time I had a dream where I was just like walking and then I got shot in the gut, and it was unbelievably realistic, and I just like died on the street. It was so awful. And then the other one was like an American Psycho thing where like I was unable to stop someone from putting a cat in a paper shredder, and I was and like yeah, and I woke up awful, like it was no good. So anyway, the pills work really good.
I just want to get to that point where I once again don't think about, because it is really obscene that, like, how did this happen? Out of nowhere it happened. Because, Joe, my normal sleep schedule is to be playing fucking games until 2:30 a.m., at which point I go, oh, it's bedtime. And I then get up, brush my teeth, take my contacts out, slam down onto the bed, and go to sleep instantly. No wind down. Until the last possible moment, I'm staring at a fucking screen. And it never gave me a single issue. And then all of a sudden, Sephiroth curses me. He makes his reference to fucking DC hardcore, and it gives me such a shock that I can never sleep again. Let me make sure that 7 Seconds is a DC band. No. Sephiroth makes his fucking reference to straight edge hardcore, and are they even straight edge? Fuck. I don't even know.
Every Wikipedia entry for a person should have a check or no check for straight edge.
Whatever. Sephiroth made a reference to hardcore, and it was so distasteful to me that I could never sleep again. I'll be probably fine at some point. One thing I do have to say, though, Joe, as a, someone, we're now, like, I'm the one, like, we've had a lot of sicko plans that we've had to cancel and or reschedule due to my mental problem. And I do...
Well. How does it feel?
One, it's insane that, like, if I'm going to develop an anxiety disorder, why can't I simply become emotionally imbalanced like every friend I've ever made? Why is it that my issue has to be the sleeping thing? And two, wowie, is it valuable to have a supportive, caring, non-judgmental friend who you can depend on to be there for you? Like, every morning I get a text from Joe, how did you sleep? And it feels so good. Like, he cares. He's thinking about me. He's feeling my pain. When I say, Joe, I'm so sorry we can't record today, I didn't get any sleep, I'm not gonna be able to have the energy when the time comes. You know what he does? He says, that's fine. Whenever works for you. And I just got to say that now that I'm on the receiving end, that I really am one of the greatest humans of all time. I'm so kind. You might even call me the king of all saints.
Bigger than Jesus.
Bigger than Jesus, better than Jesus,
because
kinder than Jesus.
Jesus was like, what, 5'6"? You're 6 even.
Yeah. 5'11" and a half, maybe. Depends on the shoes I'm wearing.
Yeah.
Depends on what time of day it is. That Jesus fucker. What a bitch. Anyway. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Anime Sickos. It's the podcast for geniuses and the only podcast where we take a look at the 4 pillars of modern misery: anime, gaming, posting, and jobs. I am Tom, an anime sicko.
I am Joe, an anime sicko.
We got 2 patrons before we move on any further. These people gave us $5, an ingenious move that makes everyone happy, especially us. Our first giver of dollars is going to be James Wharton.
Thank you, James. We love $5.
Yeah. And this next one, man, everyone's names are really normal this week. I love this. The next giver of dollars is going to be Joe Purdy. Joe, he's got your name.
He does.
Except he's Purdy, and you're not. Well, that's not fair. You're Purdy.
Thank you. I am a beautiful guy.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, Joe Purdy, thank you for your $5. You too are Purdy. We hope you have a good day. We are.
Thank you.
Also, we got you may remember we talked about how on animesickos.com/store you could get the Sicko shirt again, the good shirt that has a Casey Green picture on it. Joe, how would you describe your feelings about the Sicko shirt?
It makes my pupils go away, and they are replaced with big hearts, Tom.
That kicks ass. That's very close to my feelings about the Sicko shirt. It's fun to wear. It's cool. There's a Sicko piggy on it. Well, you may remember when we last spoke about that, we said that they're going to be open for pre-order till January 7th. This is past that by a good amount. January 7th is notably in the past. So you might be wondering why we're talking about it. Well, here's the thing. We forgot to publicize that the end of the pre-order period was coming. And we also forgot to end the pre-order period. So it's actually still ongoing. So I would, if I were you, go to animesickos.com/store right fucking now and buy yourself a shirt. I don't actually know when the pre-order period's going to end now. Assume soon. Assume this is the last chance when you hear this.
We made a mistake, but it was actually business.
Yeah, we're business geniuses. And we have grindset now. Anyway, I think this week, I think we're going to do a posting episode. And this is not going to be any posting episode because, a lot of the times when we look at a bunch of posts on an episode, we do it as snarky skeptics. We're picking holes in people's posts. We're saying when people are being dumb. We're saying, I don't believe this. I'm better than this. And what has that gotten us? Fucking nothing.
Nothing, no. Less than nothing.
Yeah, it's a bad way to live. And as a result, we're gonna practice radical acceptance this week.
By looking at some posts that aren't just bad.
Yeah, no, these are supposed to, we're taking to be true. Like, we believe them now.
This was obviously a big world-changing moment for me, this first post. It's really opened up options for me in terms of where my spiritual journey will take me.
Yeah. Because, it felt so much like we were stuck. Like our world was so small. Like there was going to be so little new experiences and new input that could come to us because our sphere of influence is shrunk so much so that it's barely more than our own homes. But not anymore. So
this tweet is from Divine Brienne, and I accept it unconditionally as true. So there's a TikToker that posted a video of a giant, and now he's dead. After he posted about the government stalking and threatening him.
Folks, can't fake that.
Those words seem real to me.
We already know that giants exist on the stone in the sea. We know that. And I'm not about to be the doubting Thomas. That's my name. The snarky, actually guy. I'm believing Divine Brienne with my whole heart. There is a guy who posted a video of a giant.
And they got him.
They got him because he was getting too close. And here's the thing about Divine Brienne is that she is not one of those people who just drops some information and lets it be. She is involved with making sure the community understands it. And I really like that because it helps me to accept the giants as true. The top comment to her post is, people really believe in everything they see on the internet these days, huh? To which Divine Brienne responds, people only believe the things that the government tells them is true, huh?
This is so real. And the reason is because we talked about sea giants a few weeks ago. You can't deny there's a connection.
Yeah.
Although her reply is kind of weird because I just don't understand why the government would want to keep giants a secret.
Well, so that we don't all go try to fuck them, Joe.
Oh, yeah. Duh. Yeah.
Just think about it. Think of the huge dick and enormous pussy that's just waiting for anybody who would go find a giant. And they're very agreeable people. They'll agree to make love to you with very little convincing required. They think in their culture, it's just polite. It's not like a big thing. And once you get a taste of of giant dick, you're never going back. And therefore, the human race is done for. No more procreation.
You know, we were joking, but this is an extinction level threat.
There's someone else. See, okay, Joe, and this is very good to believe, to finally like accept and stop fighting back. The giants are real. Because once you open this up, you enter a whole new world. For example, this one person expands on Divine Brienne's original comment, saying that this situation with the giants is just how the guy that was interacting with the mermaid got his boat raided by the CIA and then got into a severe car accident after that. To which Divine Brienne responds, I don't get their point in hiding it from us.
She doesn't know about the sex reason.
I love that just like if someone in a TikTok said that something happened, it happened.
Not being on TikTok at all and like only seeing the weirdest ones that get posted on Twitter has I think really shielded me from just some like brain deadening dumb shit. Not this though, which is true.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, I think it's like this is like the diamond in the rough. This is like the needle in the haystack. Someone says that there's a guy on Instagram Live who's levitating every day and is surprised. He's surprised that, quote, they didn't get to him first. Divine Brienne is overjoyed to hear about levitation being real. And why wouldn't she be? That's really interesting.
There's a guy who levitates every day on Instagram Live.
So I mean, this is a lot of talk. You know, of course we believe this, but it's just text. You know. However, someone eventually did put the TikTok up. That is the giant TikTok, where he sees a giant. The video he supposedly posted. And well, Joe, would you believe that it looks like it's a picture of a road, and there's a mountain in the distance, and on top of the mountain, on the horizon, it's like a little nubbin, which probably could be like a pole, like an electrical pole or an antenna, or it could be a giant. I was once the type of guy who would be like, no way, that's a giant. For one, it's not moving. For two, if the government is keeping us from their beautiful giant vaginas, how come one of them's just out there?
But it makes sense. That's how it would hide, just like as a mountain, a huge stationary landscape object, because everyone would be trying to fuck it.
Yeah. But no, I'm not going to be that kind of guy who's like, meh, 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 you're wrong. I believe in the giants. Giants are real. I don't want to fuck one, because I've never been horny.
I think giants are real to the extent that I don't cross over that point where the government makes me go away. So, yeah, I'm very amiable to future Giants content.
I mean, I'd be really cool if I never heard about Elon Musk again, and instead all the posts I saw were various claims about giants.
Wasn't there UFO videos released by the military, and like no one cared? Like there was.
Yeah, because those aliens were normal sized, fool.
Yeah, right.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, if anyone tries to tell me that this fucking giant shit's fake, how dare you? If you're like, what's the source? Give me more? I can't. They killed him.
Yeah. We told you. Can't you listen?
Yeah, are you dumb? Giants. You know what's another thing that I believe completely is, Joe, you sent me a great clickbait article. Can you tell me what that's called? Because I believe this. This is true now.
Do you want me to just say the headline title?
Read it to the class.
Okay. This is from the Daily Break. Horse keeps hugging pregnant woman. When doctor looks at ultrasound, he calls the police. So, just at the bare minimum, we can agree this has got some heat on it.
When Joe told me about this, so he sent me the screen cap, yeah, and then like we were trying to record another episode that didn't pan out that involved this, and he read the article, the headline, like he just did now, and I'm like, Joe, you fool, you got it wrong. It's woman keeps hugging horse. It's not horse keeps hugging woman.
No, fool, look at the arm. Look at the horse's arm.
He's right. I was wrong. It's horse keeps hugging woman. The horse in this photo has like a human's arm, and it's going around this lady. And horse keeps hugging pregnant woman. When doctor looks at ultrasound, he calls the police.
Do you feel that clickbait with this example has like been refined so much it's like a solved game, like how really smart people would be like chess is a solved game? Is now clickbait solved? Because like there are so many nuclear strategies in this singular one. Like we used to be okay with a single doctors hate him.
Yeah, I mean maybe yes and no. I'm on the edge because, as I mentioned, this was part of an episode that didn't pan out, where what our gag was going to be is that we would like click all the clickbait articles and like
just really swim in the toilet.
Them.
And it wasn't funny. It sucked.
Yeah. Most of them were bad. Most of them are like, if you have one of these 20 things, you can retire now. And like number one was like original Barbie, value today, $20,000. I'm like, you can't retire on. Are you out of your mind? I can't retire on that. It wasn't funny. There's nothing that could touch the level of horse keeps hugging pregnant woman when doctor looks at ultrasound. He looks at ultrasound till he calls the police. What are they gonna do?
Obviously, use lethal force. Like that's clearly what's implied here, that it needs to happen.
Obviously, like the implication that it was the lascivious, scurrilous implication here is that like the horse fucked the girl and it's a human horse hybrid.
Yeah, it's a centaur.
Now, obviously, that can't be because that doesn't happen. That's never been. And so that can't be what this is about. So it's just like, it's also sort of a fun mental puzzle to figure out, like, well, what are the facts that allow these words to be in this order? My take, Joe, is that the first and second clause, horse keeps hugging pregnant woman.
Keeps hugging.
When doctor looks at...
Keeps hugging. Keeps hugging is such a high-value duo.
Keeps hugging. It's not, he doesn't hug. It keeps hugging to the point. Obviously, whoever is writing this is like, there is a reasonable length of time that a hug from a horse to a pregnant woman would go on. This is way
I've never
past
seen a
that.
horse hug anyone.
Joe, I'm looking at a picture of it right now, actually. I don't know what's wrong with you. But, like, I have to imagine that horse keeps hugging pregnant woman and when doctor looks at ultrasound, he calls the police, are like two separate events that are not related. Here's my theory. He took the ultrasound and it was like Al Capone in there. And he was like, bah, I'm gonna, here's my big plan. I'm gonna get born again.
Oh, that
no one's gonna try. No one's gonna think Al Capone, the baby, is doing the hooch. But I am.
That makes sense because they didn't get him for the big crimes. They got him when he was trying to get reborn.
And he didn't understand because when he got it born originally, the first time, they didn't have ultrasound yet. So he didn't know that they'd be able to see his cigar in the womb.
As he ashes it on the inside.
Yeah, and he says, say, toots, give me some more amniotic fluid. That's how babies go. I would call the cops. I don't call the cops as a rule, but if I was a doctor and I saw Al Capone trying to get born a second time in a woman's stomach, I would call the cops, regardless of whether or not somewhere else a horse kept hugging a pregnant woman.
My personal theory, and I didn't click on this because I don't want it to install Bonsai Buddy. I think the horse is doing it because it has a brain parasite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
okay.
my guess.
Yeah,
I don't know a lot
yeah,
about anything, but I just feel like that seems true.
yeah. Here's another funny thing about our failed episode about reading clickbait stuff is that originally the gag was going to be we were going to read the Fate wiki and be like, do a gag where it's like, hey, Tom, have you noticed all this shit at the bottom of the screen? And we would like start clicking the clickbait at the bottom of the Fate wiki. Well, for one, all the clickbait at the bottom of the Fate wiki is just links to other Fate wiki pages. So that wasn't funny. And we're like, where can we go to get like the real brain dead clickbait? And we were like, oh shit, the Chicago Sun-Times and Chicago Tribune, the newspaper.
Both of them, absolutely. Just the trashiest trash.
Riddled with shit for brain damaged people. Just the most horrific content you'll ever see in your life. And not only was none of it funny, but actually the act of opening up the tabs and having them load rendered our computers unusable, and the Discord call was choppy as fuck.
Yeah, those articles got a lot of hidden Bitcoin miners and various other things that just really soak up your resources.
Yeah. Speaking of soaking up resources, Joe, often these days it seems like it's difficult to find time in the day to get done what needs to be accomplished. It feels like, every given day it's like a miracle to get one thing done, let alone multiple things. It's very hard to grind. Is my take. If only there was some genius who could invent a new way of grinding and looking at the concept of days. If only. What's this? Why, it's a great video from a podcast featuring a red man. Let's hear what he has to say.
My day is 6 a.m. to noon, and I'm not crazy. You're crazy for thinking it takes 24 hours, just like some dude in a cave did 300 years ago. My second day starts at noon and goes till 6 p.m. That's day 2. What I've done now is I have changed and manipulated time. I now get 21 days a week. Stack that up over a month, I'm going to kick your butt. Stack it up over a year, you're toast. Stack it up over 5 years, my entire life is different than it would have been otherwise. And if you do this for about 90 of your traditional days that you think are, you will come back to me and go, that profoundly impacted my life.
It kicks ass that it keeps cutting to the person he's talking to and they just look overwhelmed.
I love the TikTok format that is like podcast, like visually it's a podcast, like there's guys sitting around with like headphones and mics, but it's just a monologue. I'm like, just do the monologue. So, okay, you don't understand if you just listen to that for one, this was from the TikTok account Speed CEO. Incredible.
Yeah.
And second, I really need to make it clear that when I called him a red man, I was not exaggerating.
He looks like he's ready to burst. He's very varicose as well.
Yeah. And his he's got one of those a beard isn't a substitute for a jawline, no matter how you trim it type facial hair situations, except like he's like buff. So it's very odd that he needs a beard to create a jawline, but he does, and it looks stupid. Joe, you've all your life you've thought of a day as the time it takes for the Earth to revolve. You dumbass.
Yeah, I'm a fucking moron. Sometimes I would just think of a day as the time in between sleeps.
Yeah, fucking fool. So, okay. So what he's saying, the thing you have to do is you have to consider 6 a.m. to noon to be a day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what does that give you, Joe, that a normal day considering wouldn't?
Well, you're going to build up your combo meter, Tom.
I guess.
Because he said, like, at the end of a normal day, he's had 3 days.
Yeah.
So he could conceivably get to the weekend so much faster than us.
Okay.
But
well, Joe, Actually, hey, I've invented a new way that we can make this guy look like a piece of shit. My day is 6 to 7 a.m. and then 8 to 9 a.m. I have 24 days per day.
Okay.
Every day is basically a month.
Yeah, I like this. That's good.
I feel like he really left out a key point, which is in what in what way does deciding that afternoon is just a day mean you get more done? Because he seems to indicate that like it's a given that that anyone will do the same amount of grind in a given day. So if you just say that more days have gone by,
so
you have ground more?
I would do this if every little day was like a little harvest moon day and I get back into bed every time. That would be fine.
Yo, was that part of it? Was that like unspoken? That like it's about sleeping?
He has never slept. He is the Speed CEO. But yeah, he did not say the word
CEO.
sleep at any point. So I'm sure he thinks it's unproductive.
I love that his thing is stop living by the clock, as though the human urge to treat every day as one day is like some unnatural invention, not like, dude, it gets dark. It gets dark every day, and then people go to bed. Like, I love this guy. Do you think he's met Jocko?
I feel like this is a tier under him, Jocko.
I feel like Jocko needs to know about this. Because, like, if Jocko was having 21 days a week, think of how many, like, infidel heads he could have on his belt that he doesn't now.
This has got to be also the same logic that Musk gave for, like, how can you be CEO of 4 companies and, tweet constantly? It's because he's probably utilizing this time shaper technique.
Dude, you know what this is? He can cast haste. That's just what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, every day is the day is how long it takes one's ATB bar to fill, and he just has filled it up. If I did this, it wouldn't make me feel more like I was like a grindset guy who was really getting it done. It would just make me miserable because I would feel like so many more days of my life were wasted.
I would feel less in touch with my fellow humans if I was just doing that while the world around me continued to have a normal schedule.
Yeah. Like if I get like a few things done in a day from like 2 to 4, that just means like the other 3 days around that are garbage waste days, and I feel like shit. Whereas if it was just one day, I'm like, I got some stuff done today. This is so stupid. Oh shit, I forgot that our gag was supposed to be that we believe it. I like it now. I'm doing this now.
I like when he says stack the days.
Yeah. Because you got to say the word stack. That's like a business
It's a
guy's word.
nootropics term too. It's like, what's your stack? And you list all the weird supplements you're taking.
Yeah, I'm taking ZZZ-Quil. I'm taking fucking melatonin. I'm taking ashwagandha. I'm taking sleepy time tea. None of it works.
It's a pretty good stack.
Yeah. Fuck.
Tom, I
Yeah.
love Joyce Carol Oates because
One of the dumbest women.
she's an amazing author who just posts the best posts. She's really against skeletons and Halloween. She hates it. She thinks it's disrespectful. And I found out another thing she hates.
Oh, good. Probably something really normal that a lot of people also hate.
Okay, yeah. So in old movies and also in Seinfeld, when they were in a taxi, there was clearly a video playing for the back window.
Yeah.
Well, you better believe that is not okay.
Why?
I'll just read the tweet. Those ridiculous backgrounds in scenes involving cars highlight the artificiality of Hitchcock in general and this frankly silly concoction in particular. He certainly is an overrated director, really a cynical puppet master manipulating gullible audiences.
How dare art contrive to get a reaction out of its audience? Oh, she's got the perfect brain.
It's a very low stakes detail to grasp onto for this argument. Like, it's just like it's a function of the medium at the time. It communicated what was happening fine. No one was like, "Oh, yeah. I'm getting dizzy."
See, this, I feel like she would, you know, the photo, the fucking early film of the train coming at the camera. She'd be like, these people have no respect for someone whose loved one died from train. How dare they, like, puppet-like, manipulate the audience. Puppet-like.
What is the scam? What is he getting?
So I guess the scam is he tricks you into liking his movies by using methods that make them seem exciting. Now, actually, when I say that, that's disgusting. Yeah. You know, actually, I hate that.
Yeah, it feels like cheating.
Yeah, movies are really boring. They have to be boring. And you can only enjoy them with great effort.
Yeah, you should always leave a movie not sure if you liked it.
Yeah.
That's how you know you're smart.
This is unrelated, but there was a post somewhere where there was like, Megan is the first movie I've walked out of that I actually enjoyed. And eventually I realized that what he was saying is that he like walked out, like he left the movie midway through, but it was because he feels like he got the gist. He's like, oh, that's fun. I don't really need to see the rest of it though. And he walked out. I thought it meant that he had never enjoyed a movie before. And it's like the first time he ever walked out of a movie and liked it. And it's like, wow. And amazing that you would give one another try after that.
Yeah, they would just not be for me.
Joyce is so... I hope she lives forever. I hope she never stops posting.
Yeah, I hope she continues to post forever. And that's, again, why I was worried about the site going away. Isn't it funny how worried we were? And clearly it's just going to get shittier and shittier, but stay around.
Yeah.
Our real error was thinking something would change.
Yeah. Things are going to stay the same, but just get worse. That's how it is. That's the realistic way to be. Unless you find a giant, then things are going to get better for you because you're going to get fucking, like, boned down daily.
But the G-men are looking for you.
Yes, you will get... He said in a TikTok that they were coming for him, and now he died. You can't fake that. How would you even go about faking that? You can't. You know who would actually? Who would fake it? Albert Hitchcock. Boom.
Albert.
Wait, Alfred Hitchcock. I was thinking of the Albert Einstein, like that student's name, Albert Einstein. Joe, can I talk about Jerry Saltz for a second?
Yeah, I like him too. I imagine these people as like little bugs we have pinned in an ornate box, and
yes,
and Jerry Saltz is fun.
That's why, I mean, honestly, when Twitter was on its death knell, quote unquote, like the scary thing wasn't like we'll lose our community, we'll lose our friends, we'll lose our audience. It was like my bugs. So Jerry Saltz, if you don't know, Jerry Saltz is the senior art critic for New York Magazine. He is a 2018 Pulitzer Prize winner in criticism. And most of the time, what he posts is vaguely
about art,
pleasing platitudes. Yeah, about art.
He also looks very much like a critic. Like he's really got the look down. I'm not making fun. Like he looks the part.
Yeah, and his most recent post, every artist is a critic. Every critic is not an artist. It's like, yeah, okay. I'm with you. Yeah. Oh, sure. Stuff like that. However, there was a time, I believe it was in the beginning of the pandemic, where Jerry was just like, hey, folks, I'm a freak. I'm insane. He mentioned he took a picture of his inside of his washing machine, dishwasher to be clear, and it was filled with coffee-making gadgets. And he says, this is where I keep my coffee making gadgets that people keep trying to give me. I never use them. I keep them in here. You want to know why I don't use them? Because this is how I get coffee. I go down to the deli and I buy a week's worth of coffee. And there's a picture of him with like a big box of to-go cups in his car. I take them home and put them in the fridge. And I reheat them as needed. Now, Joe, if you know anything about coffee, you know that reheating coffee, don't do that. It tastes way worse after.
It also doesn't even give you like the good chemicals in my experience.
You know what it kind of gives me? It gives me that sort of like New York, greatest city in the world, baby. Go Mets, love the Mets. Bodegas. It gives me that sort of feeling, because like it's like, why would I make coffee in a danged hippies tool? In an AeroPress? What's that for? Who's that for? Why would I do that when I could go to Zabar's, baby, best coffee in the world, keep it for a week in the fridge? And then, of course, there's the parallel revelation that you eventually come to secondhand, which is like, wait a minute.
He doesn't cook.
Yeah. His dishwasher is storage? Then,
Yeah. When Doctor looks at when I saw this dishwasher, I called the police.
Man keeps getting coffee. When he saw his dishwasher, they called the police. Okay, so this is an insane person, basically. I don't think like it's being able to cook, and cooking is not in itself a moral thing. But I think that if you just like straight up are like, yeah, I will never and have never cooked. I only get takeout, and I only have reheated ass coffee I got a week ago. And you're like, and I'm cool with that. I don't need to change.
That's a bowel nightmare. Like, that's not good.
Yeah. Like, how is he sitting through a theater? How is he going to the show?
That was also a part of the original post, was like, I am so busy going to the show or writing about what I just saw that I don't have time to make coffee and do other stuff. I only do the theater.
Well, you know, Joe, the thing that would solve his problem is if he considered a day to be 6 a.m. to noon.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. Anyway, that was old, but this is new. He said this post. He posted this post on January 11th, 2023. I often think that people trying to be funny in their artwork are keeping viewers at a distance. Often, humor becomes an overdetermined reference point. The same laugh is had in the same way each time. This seems counterproductive, or otherwise fishy.
Somebody didn't get a laugh. Someone said a joke at work and no one liked it.
So, Joe, I'm getting extremely similar vibes to Joyce Carol Oates being like, Hitchcock is a flim-flam con man who uses you like a puppet. It's like, how dare a creative work manufacture an expected response at a given time? The only way this could be done is by some artifice.
It really shows that he just like doesn't. In that statement, he is establishing that he just thinks comedy is inherently like less. Yeah. It's just there's less art in it.
It is impossible to let someone in, to see who you are, and to do real expression if you put a joke in there, because the joke keeps people at a distance. Has this person ever heard of Jews? Like, come on. Like, it's so not true.
He needs to watch the Austin Powers scene where he's in the golf cart stuck in the hallway and he does like a 98-point turn. I don't think anyone can get through that without laughing. If he can, we know that there's no joy.
Well, he would say that the fact that everyone laughs at the same time in the same way is fishy and counterproductive. What do you mean? What do you want to produce?
That's just like a homework brain statement just kind of coming through. It's like, because I'm lacking a more concrete concept, let's worry about productivity.
Yeah, fucking God. You're not being edified. You're not like learning about fucking emotions or some shit. I don't fucking know. Here's another great Jerry Saltz post from a while ago. This is from December 30th. Listener at home, I want you to wonder what he could possibly mean by this. I love when I feel tiny changes happening in me.
I think I know what that means.
What is it?
We have a new Lich King.
He finally got his phylactery taken out of him and put a spell on it. You know what I think it is? I think he's learning the bug technique like that guy from Naruto. He's like growing bug colonies inside of him and like learning to mentally communicate with them.
Oh, there was the Nen Leech guy near the start of Hunter x Hunter, whose power was that he has a Nen sac in his throat where he can keep weird bugs.
Yeah, I think that's it. Or possibly he got hit with the stand arrow. It could be that.
Oh, his stand would be so scary.
It would be fucked up. It would be. It would have something to do with this disgusting fridge full of week old coffee. Oh my God, I can't imagine a more foul brew than reheated deli coffee.
Here's how his stand works. He has the ability to reheat coffee anywhere on any surface. So he would splash a bunch of cold coffee all over, say, like his enemies, and then turn up the heat, and then you get like that McDonald's lawsuit.
Yes, exactly. Or if at any diner, he's unbeatable.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm with you. Next one, this is time back in, time in the future. Next one, I gotta say this was actually kind of a public service to you, the listener, because this is something that you need to do right away. I did it, and I think it's really in your best interest, and this guy's best interest if you too do it as well. Because what happens is we got our boy Brian Blem at BlemLawAZ posted a picture of what you would think it's him fishing, because it's a first-person view of a fishing pole on a beautiful lake, and it's a gorgeous sunset. And he says, it would appear the great vaccine die-off has begun. If you're vaccinated and I don't get a chance to say goodbye, I am sorry. All of which is to say, if you have been vaccinated, you must get Brian to say goodbye to you right away. There's no time to lose.
Yeah, he's putting a really weird time crunch on this, but you got to do it.
You don't want to make him or you regret anything. There's going to come a time, and soon, the die-off has begun. It would appear. There's going to come a time, and soon, when you're not going to be able to fix the mistakes you made in life. It's too late. You got to do it now. Ask him to say goodbye. You gotta.
Yeah, he might deactivate his account at some point.
Oh my God. There was a So when he says your in the post, it's wrong. It's the wrong your. It's supposed to be you 're, and it was your, the possessive pronoun. Huh? Obvious typo. Someone responds correcting him, and Brian Blem says, "Got it. One should never text to speech and drive." This is why I said it appeared to be a picture of him fishing. He posted that while driving?
This guy is weird.
How did he get the fishing picture?
What it actually is him just giving cover for a little mistake that doesn't matter.
Yeah. I like to think of it more that he just completely faked the whole thing. Another person says, name a person that died from the COVID vaccine. Basically prove the die-off. How do we know it's true? And he responds by quote tweeting another one of his tweets, which is an incredible move that you know is going to be good.
That's so good. My source, me.
Yeah, I don't even need to read it to know it's going to be good, but I will read it. For we proud purebloods, watching the vaccine die off will be a sad event. There will be no rejoicing, but always the thought that we told you so. That's a contradictory statement. Take heart in the knowledge that, unless it is a rapidly evolving cancer, your death will likely be sudden. Can't argue with that.
So when
He got me there.
all right.
Yeah, it's true now. Oh shit, there's the fucking Palmer Hotel guy in the replies. What's most heartbreaking is thinking about all the people who didn't get a chance to buy the Palmer Hotel. Joe, can you tell the class who this fucking Palmer Hotel freak is?
Oh, he's the guy who replies all. He has the hustle, dude. He replies to pretty much any tweet I see plugging his book, which is $15, and it's called The Palmer Hotel. And you can get it at...
Now, wouldn't you... Which do you think would be more funny? The book is, like, great, or it's dog shit? Like, I really hope it's dog shit. That would be so good.
I don't think it is because, well, I was going to say you must be confident in the quality to, shill it like this, but then I realized that if you have the mindset that you can shill like that, maybe you don't need quality.
Tough to say. Well, in any case, folks, if you had the vaccine, just be sure that you get Brian to say goodbye to you before you lose your chance. I would hate to think that another beautiful soul leaves this world without Brian saying goodbye.
Brian's only got so many goodbyes still left in him.
Yeah.
Here's another one from a repeat offender, Noah Smith, at No Opinion.
And the old saw is boy do I wish. And I mean, the fact is it's true. There's a reason everyone says that, because when he says his opinion, it's the dumbest shit in the universe.
He says, I like Reagan. He did the biggest amnesty in American history, supported immigration in lots of other ways, signed arms limitation treaties, handled the end of the Cold War well, and basically did zero conservative stuff except tax cuts. So, it's just like a deranged thing to say for someone who's writes professionally. Nothing conservative happened.
Zero conservative stuff except tax cuts. Zero.
He busted the Air Flight Traffic Controllers Union. I think that was the big one that he did.
Yeah.
Zero but that's just business. Signed arms limitation treaties.
Didn't the Iran-Contra thing happen?
Yeah, exactly. They were...
Zero conservative
Yeah.
Didn't they make fun of AIDS as a problem and intentionally not take action to screw the queers?
Yeah, it was they saw it as a political boon. And also if this was true, if it was only just the tax cuts, that restructuring of the tax system alone, we're still living with it now.
Yeah. It's one of the most conservative things that has happened in the modern era. You could hardly get more conservative.
Yeah. That guy sucks. He the neoliberal Cowboy Bebop guy.
Yeah, Cowboy Bebop he says most anime is neoliberal, including Cowboy Bebop, the show about outcasts living on the fringe of society, having to take on desperate, dangerous bounty hunting jobs just to scrape up enough money to survive. And it's just damn, this is really neoliberal. This is a love letter to the Clintonite era.
Yeah, they are independent business people. These bounty hunters.
They're
gig workers, for sure.
Jesus Christ. While we're on the topic of the dumbest idiots in the world, Matt Iglesias is always going to be a heavy hitter in that arena. And I saw this post show, and as soon as I saw it, I sent it to you with the caption, "Red alert." Some woman, who I don't know who this is, has posted a screenshot of a DM request from a stranger that says, "Hey, I buy photos and videos of women's feet. I was wondering if you were interested." Blah, 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 blah. You get it. Creepy, huh? Matt Iglesias replies to this with, "Do men even like photos of women's feet?"
Oh man, that can't be true. That can't be true. And the ladies step all over me. That's crazy. Wow.
It has the exact energy of the post where someone like posts a picture of like the tight patterned yoga pants and says, "No woman has ever looked good in these," and they get like a jillion photos of huge ass women being like, "Really? Look at this." And it's just like, don't you know? Don't you see what he's doing? He's Alfred Hitchcock. He's using you like a puppet to... This is insane because Matt knows Chris Cillizza. Like,
yeah,
they're
he was
definitely
a foot
friends
freak
and colleagues.
too. He had there were quite a few tweets during the 2016 election, in 2015 and leading up to 2016, where he was just like, "My co-anchor's got some great shoes," and it's just like, man, and it happened a lot.
It did. Oh, fuck. Joe, this is one that this is a post I just saw today. And I want to get your take on this, as you were a educator. I was never this person. I never got trapped into this trap like you did. But you were an educator, so I want to get your take on this as a colleague of the original poster, who is Matthew Celes's, who I believe is some type of university educator, who says this: "Made my grad students sign this today, because if I'm going to commit to them, then they need to commit to themselves."
I hate that framing from the jump, because it's like reluctant. Like, if I got to do this bullshit...
It's like, is this not your job? Like, didn't you, like, apply for it?
Yeah, I'm sure you bring it up a lot at parties, too.
He attaches a photo of a printout called "Commitment to the Process." "The following commitments must be made in order to continue in this class. Failing to uphold this contract will result in failing the course." Holy shit. I forgot about that part, because I'm like, this is so stupid. What's binding about this contract? Anyway, with their signature, the student agrees to 1. Name the race and gender of any character at first introduction. 2. Name their intended audience with precision and specificity. 3. Make weekly revisions and commit to the revision process and the course. Number 4. Put as much effort into weekly revision notes as into the revision. Number 5. Make every effort to follow the feedback instructions and improve. Number 6. Observe, question, and attempt to answer, not compare/contrast opinions. Number 7. Treat writing as a series of identifiable choices, not as a magic or feeling.
Okay, so... Man, my professor failed me because I did not treat writing as a series of choices.
Joe, name the race and gender of any character at first introduction. The first line of every story has to be, by the way,
I'm an orc.
We're talking about... We're talking about orcs, first of all. Oh, god damn it. Name their intended audience with precision and specificity.
Is this almost like the focus group aspect of it? Like, how would this character hit with your intended audience? It's interesting to think of characters hitting with the intended audience and not just like the the whole work.
Yeah.
But I'm
Fucking
not in
goddamn.
the program. So my take on, obviously this is a stupid document. My take on why it's kind of dumb is that like the syllabus is inherently a contract. You don't need to fucking sign anything. By which I mean, if you continue to sit in the class after you're given the syllabus, you are consenting that like I'm here and I'm agreeing for the rules. Like you don't have to go this extra weird ritual.
This is very reminiscent of Devin Price's whole deal that like most of the people in academia think of students as like an evil orcish mass who exists to vex and take advantage of you.
Yeah.
And like the only way I can get ahead of their evil nature is to force them into a legal document saying that they can't bug me.
Yeah, and there's again and again, isn't there an element about not following me on social media?
Yes. Yeah, if you follow the instructor on social media, you fail the course. Incredible. You know what's actually very funny is that you sent me another one of his posts where he is talking about his daughter and her school. And she has an assignment where she has to write a story in school, much like how he teaches creative writing in a university. And her teacher said that she has to put a conflict into the story if she wants a good grade. And he says, tell me, are we teaching our kids to make stories, or are we teaching our kids to make conflict? Now, Joe...
That means nothing.
To me, it really seems like you have to put a conflict in your story is a less awkward requirement than you must name the race and gender of every character on their first introduction.
Ted, Smurf.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even like I disagree with the fact that you should make the race and gender of your characters
It's
clear.
weird to make it that prescriptive and be unyielding on that to that degree.
I mean, the fact is, like, what he's saying is, like, when certain events occur, when certain things happen, you must treat them exactly the same way every time, which is immediately drop the deets. Fucking Christ. This guy's funny.
Also, just, like, it's extra. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just, like, you as the teacher, the instructor, and the students are both there already. You don't have to instill this with, like, more ritual. Like, it's just get over it. Get to teaching.
This is one of the things that hit me. It was like a way homer. Like I got hit with the initial impact of the strike, and then like as I walked away from the battle, like I got the aftershock and my heart exploded. If you read the first sentence of the text that this image is accompanying, he made his grad students sign this.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
And honestly, the only actual adults who would sign this are probably grad students, so he's got the right job.
And another thing to note is that again, this is like the wife email where it's like, I really have to impress this upon you. Like I need you to understand this and what it means. This wasn't a leak. Like he decided to do this himself. He's like, hey everybody, I'm sure this will make you all agree, I'm really normal.
I have not had this, but I saw a professor who had some deranged thing in their syllabus that was like, I commit to, and like always being fed before class, like really baby shit. And I saw that and it just made me ill. Like it's just so frustrating.
Professors fucking go nuts if you drink out of a water bottle.
True.
They hate it. Why?
Because it's a reason to go refill it. And here's why I don't care. I'm always distracted, And like, so like people getting up and whatever, I'm like, I love that energy. I'm like, okay, cool. Like we are going to continue the unit now.
Yeah.
It didn't bother me that much. And the exception is just like we have to do a test now, so obviously it's just stay put. I just really disliked a lot of the classroom management stuff because it felt infantilizing, and it's not nearly as bad as this.
Yeah. Dear Lord. I had a teacher who the only text that we were given, that rather we were required to purchase for the class, and this was an English class. This was a high-level English class. It was a 300 level. We were required to buy one book, which was a bunch of photocopied pages that he himself had chosen, photocopied, printed, and bound. And then he sold that to us for something like $50. And he said in the class that he would take the money, which was going directly to him, in order to pay for his child's education. And I remember thinking, that's a bit odd. But I did it.
That's awesome. He's like, I got these packets I printed out. I put them in the bookstore. They cost $50.
And I need that money. Would you believe it's tough out there? Please give me. Oh, fuck. Joe, actually, we said we couldn't find any other good clickbait, but I found this post just today. This is an incredible clickbait headline. It's a picture of Julia Stiles looking like normal, like she's got no makeup on and she's going to the fucking store. She was a star. Now she works in Philadelphia. Now she has a normal job.
Barely human, you know?
Now she works in Philadelphia. No star could ever do that.
That's pretty good.
God.
The second clause needs a firearm to really pop off, though.
Now she has a normal job. Now, this is very funny because I looked up Julia Stiles. She's starring now in a starring role in an Amazon Prime Video series that just got a second season order. So it's not even one of those one and done dead end series. And it doesn't shoot in Philadelphia. I checked. It's a Canadian series. This is a fake article. She doesn't work in Philadelphia at all.
Well, I'm sure the people who write all this bullshit are going to get a letter from you.
Yeah, of course. Oh, God. I'll do it in the next of the 2 days that today is comprised of. Joe, I think that's all the posts I have energy to read today. You know what actually might help me go forward in my life and feel calm and relaxed? It's knowing that no matter what the government would have me believe, I know the truth. There's giants out there.
Yeah. And their genitals are unreal.
Yeah. And if you were to keep hugging one and then a doctor looked at your ultrasound, he'd call the cops because there would be a little giant man inside of there.
So the question I have for you, Tom, is, you know that tweet we found about the sea giant?
Yeah.
Do you believe these are part of the same phylum? Like, do you think these are the same type of giant?
These are 1,000% like the Na'vi. There's the forest giants, and then there's the sea giants, and they look different at a glance, even to an outsider. But they're of the same species overall. You know? It's like the different types of finches in the Galapagos Islands. It depends where they come from, what part of the island they're on, but they're all finches. That's how I believe.
Everything you just said about giants, I believe now.
Yeah. How could you deny it? I mean, if you deny it, all I have to say is that guy said that the CIA was after him, and now he's gone. Sounds
like they got him, Tom.
I mean, they got him. It's like, what could convince you. You know, if that doesn't, what could? Honestly, at this point, you're just a difficult person. You're just being obtuse.
The facts are right there.
Ah, fuck me. I think that's all the time we have for Anime Sickos. This has been a stupid one. I've been Tom, an Anime Sicko.
Been Joe, an Anime Sicko.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to Anime Sickos. I've been Tom, a sicko. You can follow me on Twitter at TomHarrison19. Joe is also a sicko. You can follow him on Twitter at Sharia Uncle. You can follow Anime Sickos on Twitter at Anime Sickos, or email us at animesickos@gmail.com. Please leave us a review or something. I don't know. Tell a friend. Anyway, until next time, bye.